Libby's in a video.
Hi.
Hi, Libby.
Hello.
Libby's anti-gardening. However, it's salsa
Anti-gardening.
weekend.
You did not tell me this video is going to be about gardening.
Salsa, salsa. Okay. I am going to make our first batch of salsa this weekend because we are out of salsa from last year. So this year I need to do at least 2 big batches of salsa. How I do my salsa takes a very long time. Takes a very long time. You can make salsa way faster than this. It takes me about a day and a half to make it. I pretty much freeze my tomatoes as they come ripe, and I just take the tops off and score the bottoms so they got a place to expand. And then when I've got enough for my big roaster, then I dump them all in the roaster and make one big batch at a time. And it's usually like a triple batch, and then and I usually wait until it's cold out again because I don't have my kitchen all warmed up, but it's actually kind of a cool week this week. And like I said, we're out, and Mason and Brent want some more salsa. So, salsa. Step 1 is to find all the tomatoes in the freezer and yank them out. Okay, step number 2, dump all the frozen tomatoes into my sink. These are all the ones I had frozen, and I've got those 2 bags that I cut up today that I could use more if I need to. But for now, I'm going to use these. I'm going to let them thaw a bit. I'm going to rinse them with some water. And once you have them in the freezer and they thaw, I mean, they're rock solid right now, but when they thaw, the skins just slip right off them. So I'll get as many skins as I can off easily by running them under rinsing water. If they don't, not the end of the world. Because then what I do with them is I put them in my big roaster, all in here, and I cook them down for a long, long time. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. Okay, step 3. All the pretty tomatoes are mostly skinned. There's some little ones in there I left the skins on. I'll just fish those out later. In here, I put them at 250 until they're done. I do not have an exact time for you. I let them get all mushed down, and then once they're all watery and mostly broken down, I'll take an immersion blender and blend them all up, and then I'll let them cook down until they're thick enough. And then I took all those skins and I put them in a bag, and they'll go in the dehydrator when my celery is all done. And I heard a recipe online where you can take tomato powder, so I'll powder this all up like in the Ninja blender, and you can add water to it and make your own homemade tomato paste. So that's going in the fridge. These are going to be in here probably overnight, honestly, and we'll pick them back up tomorrow. Okay, step 4, 5, I don't know what we're on. Anyway, the next step is I take my immersion blender. Let's just not pretend it's dusty. This is my immersion blender. See, pretty cool. I let this sit at 250 all night long. And this morning I bumped it up just a little bit to like 300. And then I take my immersion blender and I squish it all. If I see any big clumps, still big tomatoes, I just kind of squash them. Now see how watery it is right now? That is too watery for salsa. So now what I'm going to do, oops, sorry, that was a bad camera shot. I'm going to keep my immersion blender out because I'm probably going to use it again. I'm going to put the top on this, but I'm going to put it on sideways, enough to keep the animals from getting into it and burning themselves and getting hair in my salsa, but enough to let it start to cook down. So steam's going to go right, it's going to cook down, it's going to get thicker. I don't have a timetable for this, but I will come back when it is thick enough. Next step. This is pretty much nice and liquidy. No big chunks anymore. I took my immersion blender in a couple more times. Now I'm adding my seasoning mix, and I use Mrs. Wages. Oops, I cut the top off. Hang on. I use Mrs. Wages medium salsa for the one that I like, and I use 3 of these bags for one of these. And what I'm going to do is put those and my vinegar in here. I'm going to turn it up. I got it at 350 now. I might go to 400. And I'm going to wait for it to boil. Then I'm going to simmer it for 10 minutes and it should be ready. Okay, friends mowing the lawn. But this is the tomato skins that I pulled out. Remember those? I put them to the side from the fridge. Now I put them in the dehydrator. And if you look, this one's not quite dry. But this one is. So all I'm doing is taking those, putting them in a jar, and I'm going to use my Ninja blender, and I'm going to blend them all up and make tomato powder, which then you can take and add a little bit of water to and have tomato paste. Cool, huh? Look, the roaster is finally empty. Okay, it is, let's see here, 8:10 p.m. So we're looking at about like a 26 to 27 hour process. I really let it go a long time in this roaster because I wanted it to be thick salsa. If you like it runny, I probably could have canned it 2 hours ago, but I like to let it cook down, and you can kind of see by this line right here. So my tomatoes were up here and they went all the way down about a good inch, cooked off before I decided that it was a good consistency to can. So I have dishes to do. I got 4 times 4, 16, 17, 18, 19. Nope, I'm lying. That sucker over there shouldn't be there. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 pints of salsa, plus this big bowl that I'm going to put in the refrigerator for fresh eating, because 14 is divisible by 7, and my water bath canner holds 7. So if I wanted to make more, I would have had to stay awake for a third round of water bath canning tonight. So there we go. Refrigerator, 14 to can. I canned these pickles earlier. Aren't they cute? They're done. So I got 2 more baths to go. This guy's almost up to a boil. It's 8 o'clock at night. But look how pretty it all is. All right, first batch of salsa in the books. Okay, final video for salsa. 10:13. I just took the last batch out of the canner. Here it is in all its beautiful glory. 14 cans of salsa. I got these 4 cans of pickle spears today. Here is all of the tomato skin powdered. It's a little tacky still, so I'm going to leave it out overnight to dry a little bit more before I put it in that jar. In the dehydrator, I took those tomato skins out. Cherry tomatoes, a little olive oil and some basil with garlic. And that's it. These are going to have to wait till tomorrow. All right. That's it. All done. 10:15. I'm calling it. First batch of salsa is 100% finished. Except for the dishes.